Hey yo, what's up, my beloved champions fam? It's the bad guy WWE champion Zeke 4-0 back with a brand new video. Now I'm going to be real with y'all. We're going to be knocking out some tour runs, some match runs for the fam, the NWO Broken Skulls for this kickoff tour. We're going to knock out as many as we can before the reset. But your guy, the bad guy, has to talk to you about a couple of things. Because in the famous words of my good friend and brother in arms and champions content creation, David D, aka David Boy, there are some shenanigans at hand. So we're going to go ahead and do some autoplay on here because it's a hard mode match with our boy Ozzy Osbourne. All aboard! So, listen, y'all. Listen, I'm going to be real with you. Summer of Darkness, in the grand scheme of things, it's literally only been a couple of days. So there's not really that much yet to constructively critique. But there are some things. There's some discrepancies. And I'm here to give my input when it comes to those inquiries. Because let's be realistic. If you've been around for a long time in WWE champions, shout out my boy Troy, sending me some good old Facebook Messenger shenanigans. If you've been around playing this game since its original run, with the beta, the original launch, you know there's been a lot of ups and downs when it comes to the game. So with that being said, there's been plenty of things when it comes to criticisms, whether it's been shallow or it bears a lot of weight. Well, we're just going to go ahead and get to the point right here and now. When it comes to the guy, the man you see right here that I'm using to knock out these tours, and a quick little tidbit, if you are doing your league up missions, the knockout limited tour matches, the kickoff tours, hands down, one of the easiest ways to knock those matches out, or at least get the biggest bulk of them out of the way. You got to do 2,000 spread out between a whole bunch of faction members and mates. You might as well go ahead and throw your hat in there and get as many as you can out. And then you can also knock out the rest of your tours throughout, because obviously you're going to have the weekly tours. Then you have the weekend tours. There's many ways to knock out those milestones. But for this one, I literally have to do 600 matches in order for me to have that complete for League 24. So I'm just throwing that out there. If you're going to be knocking out those missions, this is one of the best ways. We're at 359 out of 600. We're just going to keep on spamming it on autoplay because Ozzy Osbourne is a beast. But back to the Prince of Darkness. Now, if you've been a fan of wrestling ever since you were a young buck, a little kid, whether through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s to the 10s and 20s, you should already know that it's for the longest time, the man who created the thing said so himself. It's sports entertainment. Are you not entertained? Look, we've had releases of a guy like Snoop Dogg, who's been in the game for years, has multiple versions of himself, including a Hall of Fame variant. And yes, we are going to get to the Hall of Fame. Hold up. Let me cook. Let me simmer it real quick. Let me saute it. WWE, WWF, WWWF. They've always coexisted with the entertainment business, whether it was music, actors, spokespersons, or television personalities, radio personalities. They have always had their hands in the pot when it comes to the entertainment business. Hence, you got Johnny Knoxville in the game. Hence, Snoop, who I mentioned earlier. And now, of course, you have Ozzy Osbourne. I understand that a lot of people, there's always going to be those people, those individuals, those men and women who are like, look, I'm just in this game for wrestling. No more, no less. I don't care about the celebrities. I don't care about the Terminator. I don't care about Bad Bunny. I just want my wrestlers. And I respect that tenfold. I get that. But wrestling has been able to be around for so long because it was able to cross over with so many different facets of entertainment. From having different guests, whether they were athletes to, like I said, talk show hosts, to musicians, live performances of people's intros at WrestleMania, that's just a part of the business. That's just a part of the game. From collaborations with different cartoons, other great IPs like the Masters of the WWE Universe with He-Man, to the Ghostbusters action figures, to even the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The WWE has always played in that crossover game and has gotten to the point where they are masters of it. They are like Gordon Ramsay in the kitchen when it comes to cooking up different ways to introduce their product to the masses. Whether it's movies with Scooby-Doo, whether it's actors who are playing in the different movies. Bonesaw's ready. Come on. This is just a part of the game. Now, I'm going to say this. This dude right here, in my honest opinion, is hands down one of the greatest characters to be given out absolutely free to everybody in the game. Even if you don't like the idea of celebrities or athletes, actors, so on and so forth being in the game, they made it count. It's like, look, you might not like him because it's Ozzy Osbourne. Or maybe you do. Maybe you're a fan of Black Sabbath. Maybe you're a fan of his work as a solo artist. I understand. Maybe you liked his reality TV show with his family, Sharon. But look, the reality of it is they made him worth your while in a multitude of ways. First and foremost, although he is an A-tier champion, he's working like an S tier, maybe even an S plus tier. Just looking at all the gameplay that's been released by Sir Zorro, from Merrick's, the breakdown from Lee and Rusty off of Champions Chat, Professor doing his thing. The dude is cooking. Next to that, he is not only a great trickster for you to have, especially if you're just getting into the game, even if you've been playing the game for a while. He is a ruthless aggression representative. Do you know how hard it is to come across a very good ruthless aggression representative in the game? I'll wait. I will legitimately wait, because there's only a handful of them. Because you know who the best trickster for ruthless aggression was? The best trickster that you had, that you were going to go out of your way to get, that was not handed to you on a silver platter for free 99? My boy, the Samoan bulldozer, may God rest his soul, Umaga. That is your ruthless aggression rep. Or maybe better yet, maybe Rosie. They just started having the shards in the bags. Threw out a couple deals and offers in the store offers for you to get a ruthless aggression trickster that is ringing bells aside from Edge. Edge was a great unit when he first debuted. I remember being a part of the content creator squad back in the day and doing at least a 40-minute gameplay video, maybe even an hour, of showing all the different ways that you could run the Ultimate Opportunist Edge. His days are over. They give you Ozzy Osbourne, and for some reason, so many people got a beef about it because he's a celebrity. Quick animations. Easy to get off without a hitch. Even after the plus 99 MP, he is still going to be an absolute beast and monster to your squad. His coaching ability is absolutely phenomenal. Tiffany Stratton literally is going to be his trainer and coach, helping him out with Trap Gems doing 100% more damage, if I recall correct, plus helping out with Black MP. You literally are looking at a setup that is going to be a power trip in Tiffany Stratton and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with all that trap damage. For a girl like Dakota Kai, you're going to be whipping it in all forms and facets of content when it comes to trap gem usage. Once you have Tiffany, once you have Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, just takes him to another level. And then on top of it all, he is a great coach in his own right. Green and blue gems. 30%. You need that in the 6-star gold meta. He is a guy that everyone's going to have a chance. Literally, you clearing out his contest like you did with the past ones. Less items. Not different colors of poutine. Okay? We're not different types and variants of maple syrup. You literally got 3 items to go after. 3. And literally all you got to do is just play the game. And even if you miss out at the very end of the MLC, you can spend $20 to make up the gaps, clear everything out, and get the highest star rarity fuse of him handed to you. He's given to you at the 4-star bronze. You can get him all the way up to 6-star gold. I get why people are upset, and you have the right to your opinion. I'm not going to ever take that away from anybody. But sometimes I feel people just complain just to complain. You got an era that's barely ever really represented, and the few that are there to represent them are either really, really rare, or you didn't care about them for so long that now you got to pump everything into them to make them relevant after Scopely made them relevant again. It's a harsh reality, but it's the truth. Some people are going to like it, some people aren't. But look, Ozzy is here to stay. This isn't the first time we've had a celebrity in the game. It more than likely will not be the last. And they made him worthwhile. Everybody can get him. Either you get him for free by doing the milestones, or you get him early by doing some pulls. One way or the other. And when his gear becomes available, with the trap gems doing an additional 150% more damage, tack on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, tack on Tiffy Time once she shows up. You got a top-notch trickster that was given to everybody. You're getting him one way or the other. I don't understand. I understand the argument, but I'm not. This is one of those things. My brother, my big brother, my main man, my brother from another mother, my brother, my broski, Steven, my boy Steve-O. Two words that sum it all up. Common sense. Did you have a good trickster beforehand? Okay, cool. Maybe you did. But now you just got another one. You got an A tier that's basically an S tier. This is basically similar to the same concept of Charlotte Flair. Everyone sat on her. No one didn't really care for her. She's a B tier, but with everything after the rework, and then if you invest in the gears, because if you're a part of a faction, you will get her gears sooner rather than later. She's a B tier that's hitting like an S plus tier. She might not be a relentless Kevin Owens. She might not be a blue blood William Regal, but she's going to get the job done. There's just certain times where you have to look, I am very appreciative of CM Punk, the voice of the voiceless. I will call Scopely out on their crap just as much as I will praise them. If they are doing something right, I will acknowledge it. Ozzy Osbourne is right. Could he have been another wrestler? Yep, and you know what would have happened? Oh, why did they put him in the game? Or why did they put her in the game? They should have used someone else. People aren't happy that the Creed brothers are finally in the game. They're new characters. They are on Raw. You should know by now, there's some times where the MLC has characters that are all lined up and it makes sense. And there's other times where it does not. You literally had Ladders to Riches where all the MLC Chase champions were basically Canadian. They were all Canadian or French Canadian. And then you have The Miz. Not a Canadian gene in his body. But guess what? One of the best techs in the game. And everybody went after him. And if they didn't get him, they're trying to get him now. Alongside his moment. You can't make this up, America. You can't make this thing up. You had Tranquilo Andrade show up for the free-to-play unit. Who was the A tier? Final Boss Rock. Who was the S tier? Tech Charlotte Flair. And who was the S plus tier? Rex Regum, Triple H. What do they even have any type of alliance or cohesion together? Nothing. Nothing at all. But guess what? They still cooked. So, it's just one of those parts like, look, like it, love it, or hate it, Ozzy is great. Whether you like him as a musician, as an individual, that's on you. But hey, if you needed a good trickster, you needed someone to invest in, you need someone to take the 6-star gold, there you are. Given. You might never ever pull the flash charge you need for Umaga. You got Ozzy Osbourne for free $99. And if you decide to spend disposable income, congratulations, you got them ahead of schedule. It's a win. It's a win one way or the other. Free-to-play players got a guaranteed free-to-play god in Ozzy Osbourne. What you can't make it up. But I'm going to tell you something I wish I could have made up. I'm going to tell you something that I wish I could have made up. Oh, can I talk to you? Let me talk to you. Yeah. Look, y'all. Scopely. Oh, Carlito. You have one job. Scopely. Now, this Blitz, I grabbed all these Blitz tickets. I checked the blog. I went to see if maybe they dropped a new update on the blog to let us know what's happening. But no, not at all. Like an RKO out of nowhere, they came in like a wrecking ball and they wrecked shop. Because I'm going to tell you right now about this Blitz. And this is just my personal opinion. So hear me out. Agree or disagree. When you first look at this Blitz, there's two ways this is going to go. Either you're going to shrug your shoulders and load up all of these slots, at least 7, and knock out 25 runs, or any additional if you purchase them to take care of this Blitz for your faction fam. Or you are literally looking at this and thinking to yourself, well, how many Hall of Fame characters do I have? Do I even have enough tokens to get them to 6-star? Do I even have enough TP and coins to get them to 6-star? And still be able to do the feud prep talent up that's coming up next week? I know there is at least a small percent, and more than likely 1%, if you know what I did right there. You saw what I did, 1%, because only 1% of people could fill out this entire thing. Like, literally, I was able to get Diamond Dallas Page to 6-star gold because I had stocked all of the new tokens that I was able to get. X-Pac, I'll give you that one. But how often do Hall of Fame characters come around, and how often are their materials available outside of maybe a few milestones here and there? Maybe a couple pop-ups in some prize walls. Maybe a couple rotations in the showdown shop. How many people are going to do this? How many people are going to have a drip plate for a powerhouse Andre? Not that many. He hits like a wet pillow if you don't have that drip. So let's keep it a buck there. How many people are going to be willing to take up, I don't know, maybe Striker Sergeant Slaughter so they can fill out that bottom slot? How many people have Bret Hart? Or how many people got the Macho Man to carry out that acrobat business? Now, granted, Undertaker did have a deal. And granted, we do have, my guy, Scott Hall, rest in paradise, my boy, for the powerhouses. And he's been handed out a lot left and right. That is another thing to consider. I can give you that. Scopely. How many people, though, got Triple H Hall of Fame or Mick Foley Hall of Fame? Who's willing to take up their Honky Tonk Man or their, or even their Eddie Guerrero to go that high? Who's willing to put in the amount of time and effort to take up their Stone Cold Steve Austin? How many people were lucky and blessed enough to get the new Kevin Nash? Anybody got Shawn Michaels? This is one of those blitzes where it's like, look, they even changed it because originally the top 2 requirements for Hall of Fame 6-star, they were legitimately open. So I was able to put Zombie Gunther and CM Punk there to have a shot at this. Can't do nothing. Now, I get it. Like I said earlier, there's 1%. It might even be a little shallow 2 or 3, depending on how you are. A lot of us could have Hall of Fame characters, yes. But again, the resources for them were hit and miss. Now, granted, I will say this. They do have the tokens available in the road tours if you have your characters high enough. But do you have the required era representation, class representation to even acquire those accessible, quote unquote, accessible Hall of Fame tokens? Some yes, some no. A lot of people don't spend money on the game. Again, I stepped away from the game for about a year. I laid low. And I did my thing. I did what I could. But at the same time, I only had so much. So we got Snoop Dogg here. You know, I got Snoop Dogg. I could do Snoop. I go down here. I can put Bret Hart in. I got blessed with Bret. I love me some Bret. I even got Godfather and Undertaker. I got Godfather from the six-star Spangled Pulls, I believe, or the Celebration of the Nation pulls that I did. I can only cover so much, and then it boils down to reality of it is either you do it or you don't. Now, I do appreciate what my faction's doing. It's like, look, we're trying to we do everything that we can. Teamwork makes the dream work. Divide and conquer. So it's like, look, we have members, incredible members, who got the resources. They were willing to make the sacrifice for the team and take people up to 6-star and take care of business on that side. So it's like, look, those that have that can meet all these requirements, take care of the blitzes. Take care of these Hall of Fame blitzes for the fam. Do your due diligence. Anyone who can't make them, knock out the kickoff tours. Teamwork makes the dream work. Easy resolution. But then it's also a thing of this is a midweek contest, and there's still supposed to be more to come the following day. Things are subject to change. They could right the wrong. They could make things a little bit more easier. They could easily say, hey, how about at least 7 5-star Hall of Famers? If you got higher, good. That's a possibility. But the reality of it is, Scopely is Scopely. It's a business. That's why they have it where you get points from doing pulls on the loot banner. They want you to pull because they're pretty sure with the statistics, not everyone is going to have these characters. Not everyone is going to have a 6-star Andre. Not everyone's going to have Mick Foley. Especially the S+ tiers. When I first initially saw the Hall of Fame characters, not even going to lie to you, I literally was not a fan because I looked at them and I was like, yo, they look like giant Easter bunnies, like the giant chocolate bars of like that you get from Easter with the different flavor wrappings. That's literally what they look like to me. I was like, there's nothing appealing about them at all. Their card art looks great, but when you look at the model itself, I'm not really for it. I can't get with it. But they started making them to the point where they are basically a subcategory. They are like the zombies. They are a subcategory of S-tier units. They had their A tiers, they had their B tiers and stuff, but essentially a lot of them moving forward were basically either S tier or S+ tier. And when you get the guys like Brutus the Barber Beefcake, when you get to a Macho Man, when you get to a DDP, when you get to a Vader, even a guy like Undertaker still serves his purpose. You could see why they have the S tier or the S+ tier, not only for rarity of shard, but for what they're able to do for you. Even coming out with exclusive skill plates for them to let you know they are nothing to be messed with. So even Rey Mysterio, how many people got 6-star Rey Mysterio Hall of Fame? How many people got Hall of Fame striker Mr. Perfect? Not that many people. So this is one of those things where it's a midweek contest. This is the midweek contest that they were talking about on the Summer of Darkness blog. I get it. I understand it. Doesn't mean I have to like it. I will respect it because Scopely is a business. It's like, on one side, you're giving us a broken trickster in Ozzy Osbourne. The other side is like, look, you're going to have to work for it. Compared to last MLC's first week contest, that was a lot more lenient. That was a lot more fair. This go around, I can't rock with it. Now again, by the time you see this video, they could easily change it up, make things fair. But I know Scopely. I know how it goes. 1 minute they're reasonable. The next minute they're like, nah, we've done enough. Remember what we just did for you, right? So you gonna let this pass, right? Because we made it easier for you to get Miz. We gave you his moment. You had a shot that you got the Jade skill play, right? So when I drop this on you, you gonna be fine with that, right? You gonna take this. You don't gotta like it, but you have to accept this. I can't. I have to disapprove. That's just me. That's just me. Now, congratulations to everybody in the community who's able to knock this out. Who's able to take go the distance, no Hercules Disney, to go the distance for their faction fam, get everything knocked out for all the required superstars, wrap it up, max it out, tie it with a bow, and send it off with love. Kudos to you, boo-boo honey child. I got nothing against you. Like I say, I value the whales of this community. Y'all keep the lights on. You keep the game going. So thank you. But for my other fellow players, whether you're a Dolphin who spends here and there, or the free-to-plays, I'm sorry that you can't get to partake in this. They got it up here for you to play. Does not mean that they are going to make it accessible for you. Oh, wait, yeah, they did. They did, because they got them offers in the store. To each his own, right? It's the game. That's a part of it. It is what it is at the end of the day. But literally for me, I disapprove of this. This was not a good look at all. Because all it does, there's 1 minute where you're stirring the pot in the sense of everyone's talking great about champions. I'm loving the 6-star gold meta. I'm loving the format of these MLCs. I love how they're so fair with the distribution of the 6-star gold tokens. I'm loving these A tiers. Even if I don't get even if I don't walk away with Julius Creed, even if I don't walk away with Cody Rhodes, at least I can get Tiffy time. She might not be the best waifu, but I can at least use her for her trainer ability. That's a win. Brutus is cool. He might need his gear, but he's still cool. He does his thing, right? It's a part of the game, y'all. It's a part of the game. Again, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I feel that this could have been done better. It obviously wasn't done better. And again, like I said, when I was checking it out earlier, that trickster and technician requirement was open, so you could at least slid in somebody good, and that would have gave you a chance at possibly filling it out. Now that it's like that, no way. No way. What am I going to do? I'm going to take up my my Hall of Fame Lawler. I'm going to take him up to 6-star to get the do something to know that I contribute. Again, I don't got a drip plate. Am I going to run Andre? Am I really willing to take up my Sergeant Slaughter to fill a slot? This is one of those midweeks where, okay, we're off to a rocky start. We're getting some W's and we're also collecting some L's. Okay? I can't rock with it. That's just me. I can't rock with it. But again, if you're blessed, if you're able to help out your faction fam, if you're able to help them get as many milestones as you can, I have nothing but love and respect for you. That's what I'm looking at with my faction fam. There are members of the group of my family that are able to take care of it, and I'm grateful. So the least I can do is knock out some kickoff tours. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take away from that. But then we even got another situation. Yeah, we're leaving because we can't join it. I'm not spending money on this midweek contest. I'm not. There's no. I'm not doing it. No, just no. Because even here, let's look up the eras real quick and find Hall of Fame in here. Okay, let's go ahead and find Hall of Fame real quick because they'll pop up. Okay, these are my Hall of Fames. This is what I've got. And the harsh reality of it is, for me, I had to just be straight up honest. It's like, look, the amount of tokens that it would take for me to take up the other people to get them there is going to take away from me taking Undertaker up to 6-star gold. That's someone that, regardless of where the meta falls, he's an Undertaker requirement. I have nothing but love and respect for the Undertaker, one of my favorite wrestlers. I'm not knowing how hard it was to get the tokens that I have just by popping in and refreshing the Showdown shop here and there. And now, thankfully, with these milestones that we are getting, you are getting tokens back to take people up. But then if you already have other moves that you want to do for a future talent up, are you going to really put yourself back to partake in it? And that's one, I mentioned that in a previous video. Scopely will give you enough to take care of certain moves. They're not going to give you enough to take care of all your moves. So you will be able to get a lot of these tokens that you need to take up these characters so you can do these blitz runs and help out your faction. But then you're also taking away from a possible move that you are about to do, especially right before a talent up where you would get more bang for your buck instead of just doing it during a master manager contest. You understand what I'm saying? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and know when to walk away. I'm grateful that I knew to walk away from here, and I'm contributing to my faction in a different way. But it's unfortunate that some of my faction mates, let alone other factions and their teammates and members, had to make these certain type of calls because you're put in a fight or flight situation. Had we had a blog update that said, hey, this is what's going down for this midweek, it'd be an easier prep situation going on. But because how they do the blog, I applaud the blog with how it's been done. They now got it to the point where you know the full month schedule. I will give kudos to that. I'm grateful for that. But even still, when you're dropping it, literally, when you're releasing the blog information a couple of hours before the talent up goes live, it's hard to pregame for that. It's hard to prepare for that. It's just like, okay, we're lining all this up. Midweek contest 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. No blog drop that they say, hey, the midweek contest for week 1 has started and it's all get your Hall of Fame characters in order. No, it's like we gave you an extended schedule. You know it's dropping. You know the date. That's enough. Partake. In the end, I have to have maturity and understand as an adult, as a man. I have to look at certain things for what it is. I can deep dive in this and it doesn't have me emotionally shaken or mentally broken. It's just understanding that Scopely is a business. They know that when they have a carrot dangling, a lot of people will bite and take the carrot, even yours truly. There's certain times that you're able to partake. There's certain times where you will not be able to. It's just unfortunate with knowing how rare and limited Hall of Fame characters are. You get put in these situations. Again, even looking at it like, what? I'm going to take up Roddy Piper or Stone Cold Steve Austin or Rick Rude up for 1 week of a Hall of Fame content. I can't justify it. Someone else could. But looking at my resources and what I need to do, what moves I need to do just in case, I can't afford it. I can't run that risk. And it's, again, TP is essential. Tokens are essential. Coins are essential. I understand the dynamic sometimes, but sometimes I do believe that they put you in a peer pressure bully situation of like, nah, you're gonna feel so. I know me. I like giving my all. I love doing my part. I like hitting high when it comes to feud weekend. I like doing as much as I can when it comes to grinding out Showdown. I like jumping in the queue and helping out as many of my brothers and sisters in my faction when it comes to faction boss. So to some people it's different. To some people they're like, well, I get a vacation. To me, it hurts me because as a man and how I was raised by my parents and my grandparents, and just the man I chose to be, I want to help my fellow man. If I can't help my fellow man, it makes me feel ashamed because the last thing I need is someone throwing it in my face. Whoa, Zeke 4-0, you do all these videos and stuff, but you couldn't help us out in the Blitz? And it's like, yo, I would have helped you, but if I don't have the resources all the way around to commit to that move, I can't justify it. So I have to make up in it in a different way. Some people think like that. Some people don't. But for me, it just puts me in a bad spot because I want to help, but it's a thing of like, what happens when you want to help, but you know that you really can't. And then you see others that want to do the same, but they're limited. And it's not just because, because of them. It's because of the game that you're playing. There are times that unless you're in the right faction, unless you're in a top faction, resources will be limited. You're not getting all the extra goodies. If you're not a big spender, if you're not utilizing the portal well, you're not walking away with everything. And that can hurt. You know, there's a person behind the screen, whether you're playing on your computer, your tablet, or your phone. Some people care about the game. Some people care about the people in the game. I care about the game. I care about whoever I'm in a faction with. I care about the people who make content for the game. I care about the people who run the game. And I just don't like when it looks like it's a situation that kind of looks like it's self-sabotage. You bless the community one way and then you curse them in another, and that's not cool. That's not cool at all. It's not right. It's not right. But at the same time, like they say, if it don't make money, it don't make sense, and it's a business at the end of the day. So, I mean, by all means, let's talk about that in the comments below. I also was made aware, basically everybody was made aware by the time you see this video, because this is going to be a late night one. They fixed Julius Creed, his cost. Now, this dude's already going to be getting plus 99 for the next 2 months, so you shouldn't have to worry about it a little bit. But one of his moves went from being a cost of 6 up to 8 MP. Now, granted, if you got the right bells and whistles, the MP trainers, and plus the +4 MLC perk, then you're really not going to miss it at all. And they also changed his gear around, which was basically it was updated from starting all 4 MP to increasing his multiply gem strength. This is one of those things where it's like, okay, cool, we got some extra shards out of it. Julius, from the gameplay I was seeing, like the way he was cooking it in Champion Chat and Merrick's videos, he looked like he's still gonna be a problem. This guy literally just like that. You see a 6-star gold submission machine monster, but even then, when you're tweaking it like that, it kind of, depending on who you are, kind of messing with it, because when you look at it, I'm looking at it from the standpoint, a lot of people don't know who the Creed brothers are. The same way, like, you might not have known who Carmelo Hayes was, Braun Breaker, Roxanne, Nikita Lyons, Wesley even. There's certain people, like, yeah, you watch WWE, but you're watching Raw and SmackDown. You're not really knowing who NXT is. The same applies here with the Creed brothers. Some people might know them. I pay attention. I watch the clips. I watch NXT. And I've seen them put in work right there with the Diamond Mine, with Roderick Strong before he left, and Ivy Nile. I hope she comes into the game, because she's definitely underrated and underutilized in real life. But nonetheless, that being said, the whole thing is that a lot of people aren't, depending on who's in the game, who's being released, it dictates how far you're going to go in on somebody. If you throw a Roman Reigns or a Seth Rollins or a Stone Cold out there, people are going to go. You put out a S+ tier Undertaker, people are going to go at it. You put out maybe maybe you put out a S tier, let's say a S tier Sable. People might bite the carrot. You put out a S+ tier Nunzio from the FBI, people are going to be looking at you like, what did y'all, is this a troll? Are you serious? That's the guy that should definitely be a B tier, okay? Maybe even a C tier, like, maybe even D tier. I don't know what y'all thinking over there. But when it comes to characters that are not well known compared to others, to other household names, you need to have them stay in a way that makes them relevant and give the community reason to pursue them. When you start tweaking them and messing with them, it makes it kind of look like I'm getting it. Okay, Brutus looks cool, but Brutus needs his gear. Julius looks great, but then it's like, okay, change. You're already nerfing him. It's just like the Showboat Vader. Showboat Vader showed up. He was cracked. He's still a monster. He's still God tier. But they literally had him so cracked they had to quote unquote nerf him. The same applies, I believe, to even Chain Gang Cena or Ruthless Aggression Powerhouse Cena. They reworked him and made him so busted that they had to go back and nerf him. This dude literally hasn't, I doubt, and this is just a stretch because I've seen some crazy things happen. I doubt anybody has Julius Creed just yet, and you're already tinkering with him. Granted, okay, cool, you go from +4 MP. Again, like I said, you have your MP trainers and coaches. You get the +4 MP from the MLC. You're making up for that. So you're still going to be starting off your moves straight. You're still going to be golden, right? But even then, you're fixing a gear that hasn't even been collected yet. That's the type of things that as a player, it's like, why are you even doing that? Like, no one even has him yet, and you're already fixing him. Like, am I really even going to want to pursue him as much anymore? Or maybe it's a thing of, hey, maybe if we tweaked with the Creed brothers enough, and we see that they're not really too receptive on Tiffany, of course not everyone has Zombie Liv. Of course not everybody has Zombie Liv or Roxanne Perez. But people can get Tiffy. They can get Tiffy time, right? They've been wanting her. She kind of lackluster. Maybe, we mess with these people enough and that you're just going to want to go for Cody. Because we know when you go for Cody, you're going to have to drop money to get Cody. So it's just one of those things like, look, it's still it's the first week out. It's the first week out of this MLC. There's been a lot of good and there's some questionable things that have been done in the game. And I've always been like this. I call a spade a spade. I will not bash the content creators because they're doing what they're supposed to do. I'm not going to disrespect Furpo because he's done an amazing job. He's a great man, great gentleman who gave many opportunities to people to do what they love, and that's make content on this great game. And I'm not going to disrespect Scopely. I just have to just call things to people's attention just to be like, I look at this, and from my standpoint, I'm merely just one man. I'm just one man. I'm just looking at it from the outside looking in. Some of these things are very questionable. But then they could also redeem themselves. Things could look crazy right now, and then the next couple of midweek contests go off without a hitch. But at the beginning of the MLC, I guess you look at like test the waters, put your foot in real quick, you know what I mean? Dip your toe in the Mountain Dew, quote unquote, and see how it goes. And was this a botch? This was an incredible botch. But other than that, I mean, look, we still got Ozzy in the game. As long as they don't touch Ozzy, please don't leave Ozzy alone. Ozzy is good. You know what I mean? Let the man live. Let the man live. If you want to go ahead and do polls on the banner for the Blitz loot, be my guest. Again, I feel like with these kind of banners, there is good stuff on here. You can get a character with gear. You could, or you can get a bunch of shards. It's up to you. But like I said, I always strongly suggest going after the banners. Pardon me. I always strongly suggest going after banners where you know you're guaranteed to get a card at least, or you're going to get a guaranteed fuse up of somebody. Features can go hit and miss. And again, like I said, you can do a 55. You can do the biggest quantity of pulls and walk away with nothing. And then you could do a single pull and walk away with everything that you need. So it all depends on you. I just really think that for them to start off paywall heavy, let alone with the new situation of the free to play, you have to log in every 4 days to just the first 4 days to get the 80 shards for a 2-star gold. And then how many good rewards you can get by spending that $100 to get the prize wall, and then to also get the quicker fuse up for Brutus to at least get the 5-star or higher if you don't do a pull to get him at a higher star rarity. It's like for them to drop the Hall of Fame, and they know full-blown well there are not that many Hall of Fame characters. The ability to get their shards is far in between. The ability to get their tokens. Now, again, I haven't played for over a year. So, obviously, there could have been easily a couple situations where the tokens were highly accessible. But then it's also a thing of depending what were the contest superstars back then, what were the requirements back then. Were you able to get them as accessible as some might say they were? I don't know, but you know what? I know one thing. It's what you can only put so much trust in man just for them to let you down. But you put your trust in God, you always going to come out on top. So I have faith in God that this is going to work out, because even in the darkest abyss, His light shines bright. And this is the summer of darkness. All the things done in the dark will come to the light. This is still the first week of the MLC, but again, with the whole thing with Ozzy, chill. People been hunting for Umaga for a long time. Still haven't recruited him. You basically were given a trap gem monster in Ozzy for free 99, or you pulled him at a higher star rarity. By the end of the MLC, you'll at least have him. But if you do everything you're supposed to do, depending on your roster, depending on your faction, you'll probably have him you'll at least get him fused up to in the 5-star range. And if you put in the extra work, you'll probably get him in the 6-star range. And more than likely, hopefully, he doesn't get no exclusive tokens like Santa Hogan. Hopefully, just once the MLC concludes, he reverts to trickster tokens and you just take him to the moon like that. But he's a great character to utilize. Quick animations, insane damage, versatile builds and sets. Plus, even with after the plus 99 MP build is done, you just need to run a plus 4 MP on him for black or purple or whatever your preference is. You're still going to be able to do things. If you go and do what you do spend or you do invest, go for the gear. The gear's going to be worth it. If anything, if you can't get Julius, Creed, or Cody, go after Tiffy time, because she's going to benefit Ozzy tenfold. So, great for a free-to-play unit. I really wish that people would just get over this whole acting surprise. After as many years, over 7 years of playing this game, people are shocked when they see a celebrity come into the game. But then at the same time, it's the people that bash them the most are the ones that are the first ones to use them. First ones to brag on them. I'm telling you, human nature is very fascinating and a true oxymoron and a paradox shift, paradigm shift. Nonetheless, y'all, I mean, the Hall of Fame thing is what it is. Capitalize, do what you can, but in the end, have a great time. So I thought this was going to be short, sweet, and brief. I just need to get this off my chest. Let's just chop it up in the comments below. What are your thoughts? If you are someone who was able to get the Hall of Fame cleared, let's chop it up. If you're someone who's sitting out of it, how are you passing the time? The showdown's still available. We also have the tours. So, look, it's going to work out. At the end of the day, Scopely is a business. We can never forget that. But at the end of the day, we as people, we as players, we as members of this great community have a choice on how we react and how we respond to things. It's just unfortunate when we're presented with something where it's kind of hard to ignore that stipulation. But hey, just like some people get blessed with the best and most cracked characters right out of the gate, maybe there's a bunch of players out there that got blessed with tons of great 6-star Hall of Fame units. And they're able to clear this out and take care of that business for their faction fans. In the end, no matter what, remember this. Hey, yo. Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but champions do. Mad love and respect to each and every single one of you, of my beloved Champions fam. Please, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video, share the video, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you can always be up to date on what's going on next when it comes to yours truly, the bad guy of WWE Champions, Zeke 4-0, the most electrifying content creator in WWE Champions Entertainment. And until next time, y'all, just rock it out, do what you gotta do. Coal turns into diamonds with pressure, and iron sharpens iron. We've been through a lot as a community. Things get worse before they get better, and after every storm there is a rainbow. I can guarantee you that. But let's just chop it up. Just felt the need to just get these things off my chest. Stay tuned, y'all. Until next time, love you all, respect you all, praying for you all.